Everyone to stand up as the dignitaries have arrived. I kindly request everyone to take your seats.
Good morning, distinguished guests, respected faculty, proud parents, and dear graduates. It is my honor to extend a warm and a heartfelt welcome to each of you on this special occasion, the graduation day of KLS Gogte Institute of Technology. Today, we gather to celebrate a significant milestone in the lives of our graduates as they step forward into the next chapter of their journeys with knowledge, determination, and ambition. This day represents not just the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and perseverance, but also the beginning of new opportunities, challenges, and accomplishments waiting to unfold. It is a moment of immense pride, not only for our graduates, but also for their families, mentors, faculty, staff, and everyone who has been a part of their success story. Let us come together to make this day memorable and meaningful as we reflect on the accomplishments of the graduates and look ahead to their promising futures. Once again, a very warm welcome to all for joining us to mark this proud moment in our institution's journey.
Today is not just a culmination of years of education, it's a celebration of dreams fulfilled and new horizons awaiting. Let us begin this auspicious occasion with an invocation song. I call upon Ms. Aditi Pai, student of Information Science Department, to invoke the Almighty.
ಸಿದ್ಧಿಯ ನೀವ ಕಾರ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತಿ ಪ್ರೇರಿಸುವಳು ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ದೇವಿ ಮುಕುತಿ ಪಥಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವೀವ ಮಹಾರುದ್ರ ದೇವನು ಹರಿ ಭಕುತಿ ದಾಯಕಳು ಶ್ರೀ ಭಾರತೀ ದೇವಿ ಯುಕುತಿ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವನಜ ಸಂಭವ ನರಸಿ ಸತ್ಕರ್ಮಗಳ ನಡೆಸಿ ಸುಜ್ಞಾನ ಮತಿತ್ತು ಗತಿ ಪಾಲಿಸುವನಮ್ಮ ಪವಮಾನ ಚಿತ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ ಆನಂದ ಅತಿ ಸುಖವ ನೀವಳು ರಮಾ ಭಕುತ ಜನರೊಡೆಯ ಭಕುತ ಜನರೊಡೆಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನು ಸತತ ಇವರುಳು ನೆಲೆಸಿ ಕೃತಿಯ ನಡೆಸುವನು ಸತತ ಇವರುಳು ನೆಲೆಸಿ ಕೃತಿಯ ನಡೆಸುವನು
Thank you, Aditi. I now call upon Swarali, Aditi, Abhidnya, Abhilash, Krish and Amok to sing the Nad Gite. I kindly request everyone to stand up.
जय भारत जननीय तनुजाते जय हे कर्नाटक माते जय सुंदर नदी वनಗಳ ನಾಡೆ जय हे रस ಋಷಿಗಳ ಬೀಡೆ जय भारत जननीय तनुजाते जय हे कर्नाटक माते ಭೂದೇವಿಯ ಮಕುಟದ ನವಮಣಿಯೇ ಗಂಧದ ಚಂದದ ಹೊನ್ನಿನ ಗಣಿಯೇ ರಾಘವ ಮಧುಸೂದನರವತರಿಸಿದ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜನನಿಯ ಜೋಗುಳ ವೇದದ ಘೋಷ ಜನನಿಗೆ ಜೀವವು ನಿನ್ನಾವೇಶ ಹಸುರಿನ ಗಿರಿಗಳ ಸಾಲೆ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕೊರಳಿನ ಮಾಲೆ ಕಪಿಲ ಪತಂಜಲ ಗೌತಮ ಜಿನನುತ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಶಂಕರ ರಮನುಜ ವಿದ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ ಬಸವೇಶ್ವರ ಮಧ್ವರ ದಿವ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ ರನ್ನ ಷಡಕ್ಷರಿ ಪೊನ್ನ ಪಂಪಲ ಕುಮಿಪತಿ ಜನ್ನ ಕುಮಾರ ವ್ಯಾಸರ ಮಂಗಲ ಧಾಮ ಕವಿ ಕೋಗಿಲೆಗಳ ಪುಣ್ಯಾರಾಮ ನಾನಕ ರಾಮಾನಂದ ಕಬೀರರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ತೈಲಪ ಹೊಯ್ಸಳರಾಳಿದ ನಾಡೆ ಡಂಕಣ ಜಕಣರ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಬೀಡೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಶರಾವತಿ ತುಂಗ ಕಾವೇರಿಯವರ ರಂಗ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಪರಮಹಂಸ ವಿವೇಕರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಸರ್ವ ಜನಾಂಗದ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ತೋಟ ರಸಿಕರ ಕಂಗಳ ಸೆಳೆಯುವ ನೋಟ ಹಿಂದೂ ಕ್ರೈಸ್ತ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ ಪಾರಸಿಕ ಜೈನರುದ್ಯಾನ ಜನಕನ ಹೋಲುವ ದೊರೆಗಳ ಧಾಮ ಗಾಯಕ ವೈಣಿಕರಾರಾಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ನುಡಿ ಕುಣಿದಾಡುವ ಗೇಹ ಕನ್ನಡ ತಾಯಿಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ದೇಹ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜಯ ಸುಂದರ ನದಿ ವನಗಳ ನಾಡೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ರಸ ಋಷಿಗಳ ಬೀಡೆ ಜಯ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ.
Thank you, dear students. Request everyone to take your seats.
Good morning to all. Honorable President of the Graduation Day Ceremony, I have the honor to request you to declare the Graduation Day open.
This graduation day of KLS Gogte Institute of Technology has been called to confer degree upon the candidates who appeared in examinations held for the purpose and who have passed successfully and certified to be worthy of receiving the degrees. I declare this graduation day open. Let the candidates be presented.
Candidates of Bachelor of Engineering, please stand up. Honorable President, the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Engineering are presented, and the remaining all candidates of Bachelor of Engineering are presented in absentia. These candidates have been examined and found qualified for the degree. I pray they may be admitted to the degree. Please resume your seats. Candidates of the Bachelor of Architecture, please stand up. Honorable President, the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Architecture are presented, and the remaining all candidates of Bachelor of Architecture are presented in absentia. These candidates have been examined and found qualified for the degree. I pray they may be admitted to the degree. Please resume your seats. Candidates of Master of Technology, please stand up. Honorable President, the candidates for the degree of Master of Technology are presented, and the remaining all candidates of Master of Technology are presented in absentia. These candidates have been examined and found qualified for the provisional degree. I pray they may be admitted to the provisional degree. Please resume your seats. Candidates of the Master of Business Administration, please stand up. Honorable President, the candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration are presented, and the remaining all candidates of Master of Business Administration are presented in absentia. These candidates have been examined and found qualified for the provisional degree. I pray they may be admitted to the provisional degree. Please resume your seats. Candidates of the Master of Computer Applications, please stand up. Honorable President, the candidates for the degree of Master of Computer Application are presented, and the remaining all candidates of Master of Computer Application are presented in absentia. These candidates have been examined and found qualified for the provisional degree. I pray they may be admitted to the provisional degree. Please resume your seats.
Candidates qualified for BE, BArch, MTech, MBA, MCA degrees, please stand up.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as President of Graduation Day Ceremony of KLS Gogte Institute of Technology, I admit all candidates presented to the degrees of BE, BArch, MTech, MBA, MCA taken thereof. They have been presented with these degrees. I order you to behave yourselves in your speech and conduct befitting the degrees awarded to you.
Please resume your seats. As Controller of Examination, I am presenting to you the rank holders and toppers of various undergraduate and postgraduate programs offered at KLS Gogte Institute of Technology. The first rank holders will be receiving a cash prize from the college and sponsors. I request the Honorable Chief Guest and dignitaries to do the honors. B in Computer Science and Engineering, Mr. Preetham Baswani Giryalkar. From B in Computer Science and Engineering, first rank, and recipient of gold medal instituted by the college. He is the recipient of cash prize instituted by the KLS management. He is also the recipient of cash prize sponsored by Kakulo Cars Private Limited in the name of Manoj Kakulo. He is also UG boy topper this year. Round of applause for him. Mr. Sahil Halgekar from B in Computer Science and Engineering, second rank, and recipient of silver medal instituted by the college. Ms. Richa Sanjeev Topingatti from B in Computer Science and Engineering, third rank, and recipient of bronze medal instituted by the college. She is also the UG girl topper this year. B in Information Science and Engineering, Ms. Trupti Arun Naik from B in Information Science and Engineering, first rank, and recipient of gold medal instituted by the college. She is the recipient of cash prize instituted by KLS management. Ms. Shreya A. Patil from B in Information Science and Engineering, second rank, and recipient of silver medal instituted by the college. Ms. Manali M. Gomanache from B in Information Science and Engineering, third rank, and recipient of bronze medal instituted by the college. B in Civil Engineering, Ms. Savita Ganpati Bhoivaddar from B in Civil Engineering, first rank, and recipient of gold medal instituted by the college. She is the recipient of cash prize instituted by KLS management and also the recipient of cash prize sponsored by Mr. Rupesh Vyas, Om Sri Enterprises in the name of Mr. Bhairulal Vyas. Ms. Samruti G. Pagare from B in Civil Engineering, second rank, and recipient of silver medal instituted by the college. Mr. Mohammad Lais Bhagwan from B in Civil Engineering, third rank, and recipient of bronze medal instituted by the college. Aeronautical Engineering, Mr. Omkar Lal Singh Bilwar. From B in Aeronautical Engineering, first rank and recipient of gold medal instituted by the college. He is the recipient of cash prize instituted by KLS Management and is also the recipient of cash prize sponsored by Name International in the name of Mr. Amarnath Maitrani. Mr. Kunal Shailesh Raikar from B in Aeronautical Engineering, second rank and recipient of silver medal instituted by the college. Miss Sonali Mirshi from B in Aeronautical Engineering, third rank and recipient of bronze medal instituted by the college. B in Mechanical Engineering, Mr. Kayum from B in Mechanical Engineering, first rank and recipient of gold medal instituted by the college. He is the recipient of cash prize instituted by KLS Management and is also the recipient of cash prize sponsored by Mr. Jayant Humbarwadi in the name of Mr. Ashok Humbarwadi. Mr. Enric Francis D'Souza from B in Mechanical Engineering, second rank and recipient of silver medal instituted by the college. Mr. Sahil S. Riker from B in Mechanical Engineering, third rank and recipient of bronze medal instituted by the college. B in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Mr. Adarsh Tarse from B in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, first rank and recipient of gold medal instituted by the college. He is the recipient of cash prize instituted by the KLS Management. Mr. Sanju Kurer from B in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, second rank and recipient of silver medal instituted by the college. Mr. Shashidhar Lakshmikant Gaudar from B in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, third rank and recipient of bronze medal instituted by the college. B in Electronics and Communication Engineering, Miss Almas Kalal from B in Electronics and Communication Engineering, first rank and recipient of gold medal instituted by the college. She is the recipient of cash prize instituted by KLS Management and cash prize sponsored by Mr. Jayant Humbarwadi in the name of Ashok Humbarwadi. She is also the recipient of cash prize sponsored by Mr. Prakash Kulkarni in the name of Mrs. Priya Kulkarni. Ms. Shreya Maling Ingle from B in Electronics and Communication Engineering, second rank and recipient of silver medal instituted by the college. Mr. Sanket Mundargi from B in Electronics and Communication Engineering, third rank and recipient of bronze medal instituted by the college. He is also the recipient of cash prize sponsored by Mr. Prakash Kulkarni in the name of Mrs. Priya Kulkarni. Bachelor of Architecture, Miss Yoshita Mandar Asgaonkar from Bachelor of Architecture, first rank, and recipient of Gold Medal instituted by the college. She is also the recipient of cash prize instituted by KLS Management. She is the recipient of cash prize sponsored by Srimati S.M. Kautal. Mr. Vignesh Suresh Shet. Mr. Vignesh Suresh Shet from Bachelor of Architecture, second rank, and recipient of silver medal instituted by the college. Mr. Pritesh Bharat Apdekar from Bachelor of Architecture, third rank, and recipient of bronze medal instituted by the college. MTech in Structural Engineering, Miss Shanta Boli from MTech in Structural Engineering, first rank, and recipient of gold medal instituted by the college. She is the recipient of cash prize instituted by KLS Management. She was rank holder in her UG as well. She is also the postgraduate girl topper this year. Miss Vaishnavi Kamble from MTech in Structural Engineering, second rank, and recipient of silver medal instituted by the college. Mr. Devendra Shinde from MTech in Structural Engineering, third rank, and recipient of bronze medal instituted by the college. Master of Computer Applications, Mr. Sai Prakash Pednekar from Master of Computer Applications, first rank, and recipient of gold medal instituted by the college. He is the recipient of cash prize instituted by KLS Management. He is also the postgraduate boy topper. Mr. Prashant Jatrate from Master of Computer Application, second rank, recipient of silver medal instituted by college. He is presented with the degree in his absentia. Miss Akshata Madhava Bhatti from Master of Computer Applications, third rank, and recipient of bronze medal instituted by the college. Master of Business Administration, Mr. Vinay Rajendra Kolkar from Master of Business Administration, first rank, and recipient of gold medal instituted by the college. He is the recipient of cash prize instituted by KLS Management and is also the recipient of cash prize sponsored by Mr. Jayant Humbarwadi in the name of Mr. Ashok Humbarwadi. Miss Harshita Narayan Nadgowda from Master of Business Administration, second rank, and recipient of silver medal instituted by the college. Miss Asmita Mengne from Master of Business Administration, third rank, and recipient of bronze medal instituted by the college. The toppers of MTech in Machine Design, Computer Science and Engineering are the recipient of Certificate of Merit. From MTech in Machine Design, Miss Anjali A. Vardai. MTech in Machine Design, she is the recipient of cash prize instituted by the KLS Management. Mr. Aditya Gorpade, M.Tech in Machine Design. Mr. Prajwal Bomadi, M.Tech in Machine Design. M.Tech in Computer Science and Engineering, Ms. Madhuri Patil. She is the recipient of Cash Prize instituted by KLS Management. I thank Honorable Chief Guest and dignitaries for doing the honors. Thank you.
The extracts of the commandments from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Speak the truth, live righteously, do not neglect the pursuit of knowledge, love your mother as God, adore your father as God, respect your teacher as God, honor your guest as God, give with faith, give not without faith, give with grace, give with humanity, give with fear of God, give with understanding. This is the command, this is the instruction.
Dear rank holders, congratulations on your well-deserved success. You are a proof that good things come to those who are willing to sacrifice to reach a worthwhile goal. Your achievement is a testament to your passion, talent, and hard work. Keep up the excellent work. Can we have a round of applause to our rank holders, please? Thank you.
May I request Shri Rajendra Belgamkar, Chairman and Governing Body, KLS GIT, to deliver the welcome address.
It is my distinct privilege to welcome you all to the 8th graduation day of this autonomous branches of KLS GIT. And KLS GIT started in 1979 and welcomes you all in its 45th year. It is indeed my privilege to welcome the Honorable Chairman of AICTE, Dr. T.G. Sitaram, who has come here despite his extraordinarily busy schedule. Thank you, sir, by honoring us with your presence. It is also my pleasure to welcome alumnus of KLS GIT, Engineer Parag Naik today. This chairman of a startup, Sankhya Labs, that was taken over by the Tata Group's Tejas Networks, makes us really proud. Thank you, Parag, for your presence today. I welcome members of the Academic Council. I welcome members of the Board of Management of KLS, including Shri Pradeep Saukar, Chairman KLS, Secretaries, Shri Vivek Exambekar and Shri Ganachari, Vice Presidents, Shri Ram Bhandare, D.V. Kulkarni, Co-Chairman of GIT, Mr. Pramod Kathavi, and other members, including Ashok Kulkarni, Mrs. Ujwala Mandgi, Prashant Kulkarni, Prakash Badkundri, R.S. Mutalik, and V.M. Deshpande. It is also my distinct honor to welcome the President of today's function and the President of KLS, Shri Anant Mandgi. I welcome the parents who have gathered here and their children who are graduating. It is our honor to have you here and to spend time with you. I welcome our partners from industry and our partners partners of GIT. I welcome staff of our college and of our other sister institutions. I welcome members of the press and media. I welcome you all.
Thank you, sir.
May I now call upon Dr. M.S. Patil, Principal KLS GIT, to present the college report.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, Professor T.G. Sitaram sir, Chairman AICT, Engineer Parag Nayak, President KLS, Chairman KLS, Vice Presidents, Secretaries, Chairman Governing Council Engineering, Chairman Governing Council MAM section, members of the governing body, members of the academic council, and all the KLS members, faculty members, students, and their parents. First of all, let me congratulate all the students and the parents for the passing out batch of 2024. A great round of applause for all the students and the parents. I have the privilege to present the college report for the past year. KLS Gogte Institute of Technology was started in the year 1979 under Karnataka Law Society, Belagavi. This is one of the 13 institutions under the umbrella of KLS Belagavi. The institute is recognized by AICT and UGC, and it is an autonomous institution under Vishweshwarya Technological University, Belagavi. The institute was conferred with autonomous status from the academic year 2015-16. It is accredited with A+ grade by NAC consecutively for 2 cycles. Also, the programs of KLS GIT are accredited by NBA, National Board of Accreditation. I have also the pleasure to announce or mention here that the KLS GIT has been awarded with gold rating by QS iGauge rating 2024, which is a new accomplishment of GIT in the recent past. KLS GIT offers 8 BE programs. The recent addition is CS in AIML, BArch, BSc Honors, 4 MTech programs, MBA and MCA. The total student strength at the campus is 4,500 plus, and faculty is 255 plus, with more than 95 faculty members with PhD, and still many are pursuing their PhDs, and supported by equal number of supporting staff. The institute has 10 research centers approved by VTU. We have more than 50 PhDs awarded till now, and many have registered for PhD. We have both part-time PhDs as well as we have the full-time PhDs. Many have registered for full-time PhD as well at GIT. The faculty members have received the grants from AICT, VGST, KSCST, VTU, and so on for their research works. College has a very good research policy which encourages the faculty members and the students to take up the research and incubations and innovations. As far as academic goes, the curriculum is updated to meet the requirements of the industries for every frequently. BOS has members from the reputed institutions and the industries who guide us for framing the scheme and the syllabus. We also thank AICT for providing a model curriculum which becomes the guidelines for taking up our syllabus, sir. Thank you, sir. To have the experiential learning and exposure of the latest technologies for faculty as well as the students, we have many Center of Excellences. The Center of Excellence in Interdisciplinary Design and Innovation, which is powered by Dassault Systems. We have Center of Competence in Electrical Vehicles, powered by the Decibels. We have Center of Excellence in Astrophysics in collaborations with Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Bangalore. We have Center of Excellence in Nanotechnology. We have Center of Excellence in Microwaves, which is supported by Energy Systems. Also, we have Center of Excellence in Additive Manufacturing, Center of Excellence in VLSI, and many more in pipeline to go. These centers not only provide the skill development, also provide the certification courses to our students, and they are more active. The institute is establishing the AI lab. The AI is one of the coming up areas and the buzzword in the industries. If you name any programs, not limited to any of the branches, we have artificial intelligence, and we are starting an artificial intelligence lab with NVIDIA here, and which will facilitate faculty as well as students to take up the research and innovations at the highest level and the requirements of the industries. There will be new feather in the cap of GIT, and the first in this part of the state to have that AI NVIDIA lab at GIT. And today we'll be having that foundation stone, sir, laying of the foundation stone. The institute has a very good industry connect. Many of our students take up internships and projects in the institutes. We have more than 150 industry expert talks conducted for the last year. We thank all the industries in Belgaum as well as beyond Belgaum for supporting our students and the institute, for providing internships, for guiding, as well as coming to the colleges and taking the classes. As well as we have many industries, many courses which are supported by the industries. And the industries people come, they have designed the curriculum, they take the curriculum, they teach the classes, the students, as well as the evaluation is done by industries. This is one of the new additions which has been done at the institute, sir. Departments and student clubs, there are many departments and active students clubs which encourage the students to participate in co-curricular, extracurricular, as well as the sports activities. The students of GIT have many prizes and have brought accolades to the GIT. We have the branch of ASME which has won many prizes in the last year. We have won about 5 to 6 topper prizes at the national level. We have the students winning the Samsung Innovation Award. We have students having selected for the Smart India Hackathon going for 2024. Even we had the last year also we had the students as finalists in the Smart India Hackathons. And also the students are presenting papers in the international conferences at IITs and IICs, sir. This is how the students are active on the academic front as well. Despite of the global slowdowns, I am happy to mention here that GIT was able to secure very good number of placements for companies across various disciplines. And also we'd like to inform that even this time, generally the core branches, mechanical and civil, they feel that they are at the low level. But I am happy to mention here that, sir, we have full admissions for mechanical as well as 90% admissions for civil. The same case is for the placement as well. This is one of the very encouraging points for GIT, sir. The distinguished companies which come for placement here as Palo Alto, Texas, Mercedes-Benz, Daimler, Bosch, TCS, Tejas Network, Dassault, ETM, Viav Labs, Aegis, Quest, DMG More, Accenture, then Appcoms. Therefore, we have the placements for all the branches covered, sir. The status of the statistics of the graduating students for this academic year 23-24 are, the total number of students graduated are 1,237, out of which UG students are 972 and PG are 265 students, totaling to 1,237. Today we have the graduation days for the toppers, and subsequently in the next week we have the department-wise the graduation days, where we have the functions and welcome all the students on the dais and give their degrees, sir. Yes, we have prepared on these occasions, we have prepared a video of all the happenings of the past academic year. I request to play the video for all the happenings at GIT in the past year.
KLS Gogte Institute of Technology has A+ NAAC accreditation.
We have won 7 national level hackathons.
Also, we got shortlisted for SIH 2024 Grand Finale. We collected a total cash prize of almost $2,000.
We have won the Samsung Innovation Hackathon, a state level hackathon with a cash prize of 3 lakh rupees.
We presented our work at IIT Madras in an international conference, and our work got published in prestigious publication.
we have participated in many cultural fests like Simbhav, held by Symbiosis Law School Pune, Invento, Savishkar, Yukti, and many others, and we have also bagged the general championship at these fests.
We have won V2 Belagavi zone tournaments and even received second runners up at V2 state level tournament.
We are the winners of V2 Belgaum zone.
With this, I conclude the college report. I thank all the members of the management, the chief guest, for accepting our invitations and gracing this occasion. And once again, I congratulate all the students and the parents and wish them a bright future ahead. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir, for those insights.
Today, we are honored to have among us a distinguished alumnus whose contributions have brought immense pride to our institution. His story is one of vision, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Let us take a moment to reflect on the incredible impact of our alumni have had across industries, communities, and the world at large. May I request Ms. Dhiral Sharma, student of Department of Information Science, to introduce Shri Parag Nayak, an illustrious alumnus of KLS GIT and the visionary founder and CEO of Sankhya Labs, Bengaluru.
It is my immense pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest, who is the alumnus of KLS GIT, Engineer Parag Nayak sir. Shri Parag Nayak sir is a seasoned technology and serial entrepreneur with over 32 years of industry experience, including more than 21 years in indigenous high technology startups. He is the CEO and co-founder of Sankhya Labs, India's first private fabless semiconductor company, which he has led since its inception in 2007. Under his leadership, Sankhya developed and launched indigenous SDR chipset and communication product for a wide range of applications. In 2022, Sankhya was acquired by Tejas Networks, a Tata Group company. Prior to Sankhya, he co-founded Smart Yantra Technologies in 2000, which was acquired by Genesis Microchip in 2004 and Vyayavya Labs in 2006. Both companies were at the forefront of high technology product development. He is globally recognized as one of the foremost experts on software-defined radios, that is SDR, and cognitive radios, with a particular focus on their application in 5G telecom infrastructure and broadcasting. He is the key inventor of D2M technology and RANvisor, a unique cloud-based custom silicon platform for 5G RAN. He is also driving the adoption of the RAN hypervisor, an innovative 5G cloud platform. He has also made significant contribution to nurturing the semiconductor and hardware industry startup ecosystem, particularly in Bengaluru, India's tech hub. He holds more than 50 international patents in areas such as VLSI design, CPU or SDR architecture, design communications, signal processing, and hardware-software co-design. His expertise and contribution have earned him numerous accolades, including the Techno Visionary Award from the India Semiconductor Association and recognition as one of the Economic Times 50 Promising Entrepreneurs in India 2020. He holds a bachelor's degree in computer science and engineering from KLS GIT. We are honored to have you, sir.
Thank you, Dhiral. May I request the President and Chairman of Karnataka Law Society to felicitate Shri Parag Nayak, an esteemed alumnus of KLS GIT. I request all the dignitaries to join the felicitation. Thank you, dignitaries, for doing the honors. We are privileged today to have the opportunity to hear from someone who embodies the values of excellence and resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Shri Parag Nayak to deliver the alumni oration and share his valuable insights and experience with us.
Firstly, it's a bit both embarrassing and emotional to make the journey from there to here, right? So, and yeah, thank you for the honor. It's really emotional for me. Before I begin my talk, 3 disclaimers. Punctuality is not my virtue, so I'm sorry, but I went 25 minutes late for my SSLC science exam, so you can imagine. So I rationalize that out by saying, if any meeting I don't go late, that meeting is not important. So, so please bear with me, and it might be a little longer than what we had anticipated. If you don't like this talk, please stop me. Secondly, I have a lot of strong opinions, but I hold them very weakly. There are things that I might say that might be counter to the popular narrative and might hurt some people. So please, apologies in upfront for that. And with those 2, let me begin. And the third one is, of course, I can't still give a speech without the prop of a, of a PPT. So I need those PPT points to trigger some of my thoughts in there. So please bear with that as well. And with that, I think you're entering a new world. You're going in from a cocoon and you're becoming a butterfly. So when I was in a cocoon and I got out of a butterfly, I didn't have the insight of listening to some of this. I hope from a reasonably well-built butterfly, you'll get a perspective of the world. And that's why I put this as the title of my talk today, which is Robert Frost's poem of lessons from a path less trodden. Probably some of you would have known it. Next slide, please. So basically, you have a certain worldview. All of us have a worldview. So far, you have lived with a certain worldview that's been thrust on you by your parents, by the society, which continues to put a worldview on you, and of course, all the educators. Now, as you enter the world, you got to update the model of the world. You've got to understand how the world really works. So I'm trying to give you what my view of the world is, and what are the attributes needed to, operate and navigate in this kind of a world, which is very different from what you have been taught so far. So one of the first ones is, you're going from sorry, I need to look at this once in a while. You're going from a linear to a non-linear dynamic world, right? I think everybody's, as an engineer, you would know what linearity is. It's the first concept that's taught to first year engineering, right? Which is everything is proportional. So in the electronics world, my bias is towards electronics and software because I don't know much about mechanical. A transistor is always biased, right, to operate in the linear region. So you are also biased so far to be operating in a linear region, biased by, like I said, the three different stakeholders that we spoke about. But the world is not like that. The world is non-linear. In the linear world, most of you have progressed from being in first standard to second standard to 10th standard, and from 10th standard you've gone through education. Some of you will continue to probably clear some examinations and also become PhDs. So that is linear, right? Every year you've got progressive growth. Whereas in the real world, what I've experienced is you could be sitting in first standard for 15 years, but suddenly you'll get 4 PhDs at the end of 15 years. That is non-linear. If you draw a curve, I think most of you know, it's a straight, nice y is equal to mx slope. Whereas the real world could be parabolic, it could be, you don't know what, right? That depends on you. Also, some of you also know the Nyquist criteria. At least the electronics guys would know what Nyquist criteria is. It is basically, the world is quantized and you sample people, right? So one of the sampling processes in the real world so far that you have undergone is the examination process. You sampled how many times? 4 times a year. Or maybe 2 times a year. In our times it was 2 times a year. Now probably there are you're more frequently sampled. The problem is you're undersampling it. So based on 2 samples a year or 4 samples a year, you're decided whether you are going to be first rank or second rank or you're a failure. How do you know? Because you are a continuous process. To sample you have to be sampled every time after time, day after day. Now, I had this problem when I was a student. I was very moody. So some years I would score very good marks, some years I don't score good marks. And that haunted me for a long time. Right? Then I'll tell you some of the stories that came about. It's not me that was a problem. It was the system that was actually evaluating me and violating Nyquist criteria. So this is the first thing that people will teach you in digital signal processing, that you should not, when you sample a signal, you have to sample it fast enough. So if the signal is fast changing, you have to sample more than often. So if most of the time, given a choice, when I hire people, I don't hire from the rank or from the degrees. I go and ask the professor, how was he when there was pressure cooker situations. I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you about what I call the 17 for 5. When you go into bat, you're 17 for 5. What do you do? Defines how you behave, how you react, and whether you're successful or not. Also talking about non-linearity, there's this concept of an S-curve. In everything in nature is non-linear. Most technologies, most fads, all follow what's called an S-curve. It takes an initial long time, and increases rapidly, and then tapers out. Anything that doesn't taper off, right, is cancer. Then it will blow back. So what is cancer? Cancer is cells growing exponentially without anything. That's like the only thing that can grow exponentially year on year, quarter on quarter, 15% a year is human grade. Nothing else. In the real world, you have to hit the limit. There's always a ceiling. Death, in some sense, is the ceiling if you get cancer, unfortunately. So that also brings us to creative destruction. So the S-curve inherently means that everything that's created is destroyed, and created will be destroyed. So every structure, every natural structure, every man-made structure, every kingdom, every civilization gets destroyed and rebuilt again. That is part of creative destruction. If you don't understand that, and if you try to force fit it, you have a problem. And then also with this, by the way, I'll bring in a lot of things from from economics world and all of that I have learned, and try to give you in a crystallized world. There's a paper called Tragedy of Commons that was written in the 50s. I got interested in economics. I hated economics when I was in school and college. It's only now that I realize, after 20 years, that it's such an interesting subject. And there's a paper in the 1950s, fancy paper called Tragedy of Commons. What is a simple thing? Tragedy of Commons is, how do we regulate? How do we use, common resources? An example of that came in because in Norway in the 1950s, they thought, they used to do overfishing, right? 1950s, the amount of salmon in the Atlantic Sea had dropped down to very low levels because of overfishing. And that's the reason the Norwegian government came up with a rule that you're going to ban fishing during certain periods of time. Do you remember some of it? Some of you know Chaturmas? Some of you know Chaturmas, right? You don't eat fish, you don't eat meat, or you don't eat certain things. That's because that's a fancy paper from the Western world called Tragedy of Commons. So S curve plays there, right? So similarly, everything follows more or less that. That brings me to the next part. The tragedy of commons comes from our distorted worldview that has been propounded by a guy called René Descartes. Probably you would have heard about him, I think as early as 10th standard or 11th standard. Coordinate geometry, Cartesian geometry, you draw those two lines, right? So he had this, from my think, I say, was a stupid philosophy called, I think, therefore I am. Have you heard about it? I think, therefore I am. What it actually means, it's a very stupid thing, because what he said was, I am different from the nature. So I am going to, man has this thing to, I am separate from nature. Nature is there for me to consume. All the physical resources are there for us to consume. So we need an epistemological shift from this reductionism. Therefore, from then on, the Western materialism has followed to a point where we are all reductionists. It went on, this reduction is based on Newtonian Cartesian stuff until people started to discover quantum physics. Yeah? People know what epistemology means here? No, that's the problem. You're rank holders, right? So yeah, epistemology is the study of knowledge. We have to study knowledge itself. So what is complementarity? Complementarity is the new concept in quantum physics, which goes away from reductionism, where you thought that there's a smallest building block, God created this, and from those building blocks, everything is built up. That's what you thought, right? Atom, from electrons to atoms to molecules, molecules to this, and so on. But once you got into quantum physics, in fact, this will take a couple of hours, but I'll try to crystallize it very quickly. The view of complementarity is two opposites make a whole, complete whole, right? This, in the popular, pop culture, you would see yin and yang, no? You know yin and yang? In India, we call it Shiva Shakti, but it sounds down market, so we don't use it. Yin and yang is more cool. So basically, the two opposites make the whole pair. So you have to go from that reductionist view to this whole pair. Once you start looking at everything as a whole, and you're part of that whole, then you don't have the tragedy of commons. Yeah? And then also, second most important part is statistics is more fundamental than causality. You have been always thought cause and effect. But the world is statistical, non-linear. And we are not wired. We are not wired as human beings to understand probability theory or statistics. Even trained statisticians have a problem when they deal with real life. They can do problem solving in the academic setting, but when you come to real world, it's very, very different. Maybe I'll take some of these offline, but a simple story about how nature handles this problem. You've seen a 20-feet crocodile, right? Everybody sees a huge crocodile when you watch Discovery Channel as a kid. You know what the mother crocodile does to nurture one such big crocodile, male or female? It lays 500 eggs. Yeah, approximately. Maybe I might do a fact check me on the exact number around that. So you got one, and then the crocodile is born from the egg. It is this small. So what are the chances that that small fellow can go into this big? So nature has come out with a position saying that more is better. You should have, if you have 500, then you get one that grows up to that point. So understand that perspective. And you don't know, in our case, it would be companies like Google or Microsoft. At one point in time, they were that small. Nobody knows which is going to be the next big company. Now everybody's talking about NVIDIA. NVIDIA was written off 10 years ago. How do you know? You don't know. That's why, how do you operate in this world is what I'll try to tell you to go forward on this. The other one is we are inherently, like I said, not evolved from the type 1 thinking, which is flight and fight response, which is how if you believe in evolution, you know that we were hunter-gatherers, and you would see a tiger what is your first instinct? You run away. You can't think and calculate the probability of his speed and say, oh, what is the probability that he'll catch me and I'll die? So you would flight or fight. That response we have not evolved. But the modern world is so complicated, it is so statistical that you have to do what's called type 2 thinking. Sometimes you should not trust your instincts, but sometimes you should trust your gut instincts. You should only trust your gut instinct when you're a deep expert in that subject. Otherwise, you should never trust your deep instinct, right? Try to resort to type 2 thinking, which is slow and steady. If you do type 2 thinking, what will happen is you'll fail in examinations. Because they all think for a type 1 thinking. You have matched a pattern. That's what you guys are doing. AI machines, right? Especially if you attend all these CAT examinations and all of that. You can't think there. You have to remember from memory and quickly do that. Even the IIT JEE examinations. If you start to think, you're gone. So that's something that you always use to type 1 thinking. You have to go to type 2 thinking. Yeah. And then a very controversial subject, gambling. Right? We have moral positions on gambling, but everything in life is a gamble. Anybody heard about law of large numbers? No. Electronics guys, you are all rank holders here. You should know it. This is a way to operate in the world. The exercise for you. Go think back about it and then come back and say, what is law of large numbers? If you don't know that, the whole Mahabharata happened because Yudhishthira could not gamble. He just didn't know how to gamble. You don't have had the Mahabharata if they didn't gamble. So gambling has to be taught formally. If you don't, start reading about gambling. Not the type of gambling that does, this new cricket player, right? That's not gambling. That is luck-based. There's skill-based gambling and the luck-based gambling. Most of the stuff that you do in future, when you bet on people, when you bet on stocks, when you bet on NVIDIA, you're gambling. So understand how to gamble. And then also, the last one is, you had been always told that Darwinian's theory that, you have survival of the fittest, right? That is completely wrong. I think now modern evolution theory is coming around to the fact that it's not the survival of the fittest, but the survival of the adaptability, especially in the world where things changes. Professor just mentioned, everything changes every 3 months. We have to keep tracking that. You don't do that. You have to be adaptive. Once you are adaptive, you will survive. The future of the 21st century, the guy who will rule is the guy who is going to be most adaptable. And failure. You've passed, you've been toppers throughout. What will happen when you get the first failure? You won't be able to handle it. You have to learn to handle failure. If you do anything useful in life, you will fail. Other than in the academic setting. I'm sorry, but this is a very strong word. But I'll tell you that. That's my thing. If you do anything complex that has never been done before, you always fail. And where have you been allowed to fail so far? In your entire education system? Nowhere, except if you play sport. In sports, if you play a team game, if you play basketball, I used to play a lot of cricket, you can win from losing positions. And I can tell you a lot of stories later on, but I don't have time now. And you can lose from winning positions. I'll talk about the, Rishabh Pant and why Rishabh Pant won the, IPL 2020 for us. How do you actually break those patterns? That's about psychology, right? Nobody teaches us psychology. As engineers, engineering is engineering, arts is art. Nobody teaches psychology. If you are a careful observer of life, psychology is the most important thing. There are a lot of biases. I suggest all of you start reading about psychology and start observing people. Start observing yourself. You'll realize you'll be far more successful. Please understand, as engineers, when I first came in, everybody in my family used to think I don't know how to negotiate. I'm a very poor sales guy. That anybody can, con me into anything. But then I realized over the last 20 years, I was giving a talk on sales. I always thought that I was a technology guy, but I realized I'm a bigger salesman. A great scientist has to be great salesman first. Otherwise, he will not. There are scientists. I don't know if you know. A great physicist called, I got the Boltzmann, right? Boltzmann's constant is a very famous thing in physics. He committed suicide. You know why? The theory that he brought up, people didn't accept it. He was not a good sales guy. People beat him up. They called him all kinds of names. You'll be called all kinds of names, by the way, right? So if you're not strong enough, people will call you fool, you're called mad, or all kinds of shit that they'll keep saying. But if you're not a good salesman, you're not able to sell your ideas, it doesn't matter. Next slide, please. So the title of this slide is from a book called Freakonomics. It's one of my favorite books. He says the model of the world is very simple. The world, the way it is, behaves because of economics. The way it should be is because of morality. Economics is more important, unfortunately, than morality. Unfortunately, that's how our incentives work. That's the fundamental key of this. So now I'll talk about a bit about positional advantage versus material advantage, right? Maginot Line, anybody's heard? Shivaji probably you'll know. Maginot Line, nobody would know. Again, I suggest you read up. Maginot Line is a line between the French. I'm a little bit of a military history prof, so I read a lot of military history and analyze some of those situations. Because it helps me. Because, for me, positionally, if you have played chess, if you play chess, you will understand a lot of times these guys, not the AI guys, but the human beings, when they play chess, positional advantage is very, very important in chess compared to material advantage sometimes. I'll sacrifice, you'll see a lot of very experienced players and grandmasters sacrifice material advantage for positional advantage. So Maginot Line was a line that that between the French and the German border after the First World War that the French built. They had a double superior army than the Germans had, and they had fortified it so well that it was called the Maginot Line. But they had left one small part of that border unguarded through Belgium. And they had thought that nobody can come across. No moving infantry, no artillery can actually come across that. There was a German engineer after the humiliation of the First World War who spent 15 years building a tank that can actually cross the mountains. That was a mountainous region. In Belgium, there's a thing called Ardennes Forest, where there's a lot of mountains, a lot of thick wooded thing. So what the Germans did is, when they attacked France, when I'm not supporting anybody, I'm just telling you the concepts of positional advantages here. They didn't attack the Maginot Line. They knew. What they did is they outflanked the French by going round like this, and in 12 hours they cut across because of this new technology. And because of the surprise element, the French didn't know what to do. They just surrendered, in spite of the fact that they had 3 times larger army than and resources than the Germans had. And that's also Shivaji. There are battles, I don't remember the exact battle against the Mughal, where the Mughals gave up because he had only 400 soldiers with him. And the Mughal had a battalion of about 17,000 soldiers. He won the war without even fighting because positional advantage. So always try to get into a positional advantage in life. Material advantage doesn't give you a sense. Material advantage will come later, right? And the next most important part is what you would have been told: there is good, there is bad, and there is evil. Very clear line. White is good, black is evil. That's what the Western guys will tell you. But it's not as simple. You know Ashwatthama? Who was Ashwatthama? So you should know this principle and observe this principle very carefully. Ashwatthama Hatha Kunjara is a way that Krishna came up with to kill Ashwatthama, who was Dronacharya's son, by getting Yudhishthira to lie. And he didn't want to lie. He told half lies, right? Sometimes we all grow up, in the socialist environment where, means and ends are very important, right? Means are very important to achieve an end. Sometimes the means are also important. The means are more important in the end. That you won't do some bad things to get there. And this moral dilemma, you will always be present with. You will always, there is no black and white in the real world. There's only gray, shades of gray. Everybody has an opinion, everybody is right. So now when you're in front of a moral dilemma, by the way, anybody seen the movie Oppenheimer? Who was Oppenheimer? Robert J. Oppenheimer. Manhattan Project. Sounds a ring? No? Okay. He was the one who invented the atom bomb, right? He was in charge of a project called Manhattan Bomb. There's a movie called Oppenheimer. And in that movie, all the Americans are now suddenly interested in Indian philosophy. Why? I've got a lot of American white friends who say, oh, this is great. They've shown the depiction of Gita in a very bad thing in that movie. That apart, I keep telling them that he had a moral dilemma, right? At the one hand, he knew that the bomb that he was creating could kill billions of people, right? That is bad, right? That is evil. Just stop, write a letter, move on. But at the same time, he knew that if the Germans get hold of it, they are finished. So what do you do? Also in public policy, a lot of times, you will come up with a situation. Some of you are studying for IAS. I mean, this is my view, okay? Don't quote me. Is sometimes you have to take the lesser of the two evils, right? And again, Ramayana today is taught to us in a very different way, in a crystallized way as a poem. But the story of Ramayana is the moral dilemma that Ram had constantly. When he had to banish Sita from his thing, he had his dharma towards his state, his wife, his children, or his parents. What do you do? Especially when you get married, you'll know this, that, you know, you're the wife, you're the mother, you're the children. All of them are right. Whose side do you take? Everybody's side is right. If you take one side, people will blame you, yeah, you are a mama's boy, right? If you take the wife's side, the mother will say, see, this guy ditched my, you know, he's, you know, after he got his wife. That's why they say a wife is a wife, sorry, a son is a son until he gets married, and a wife is for life, right? Until he gets a wife. So this is the problem. This is the moral dilemma that you all have. And for us as entrepreneurs, the moral dilemma is we have the society, we have the shareholders, we have the employees, and we have the customers. So who do you choose? And unfortunately today, the capitalistic, well, the out and out capitalist guys are choosing only the shareholder ones. So these moral dilemmas you have to learn to live with and figure out what to do. Yeah. And also, so far you have played what are called zero-sum games, which is I win, you lose. In life and real life, there are no zero-sum games. Everybody wins. If you come from an abundance of mentality, you will compete. You will not show. I had you know, competitors when I was in college, and later would not show me, hey, I'm studying for IIT, I'll not give you brilliant tutorials. Brilliant tutorials were the only thing that time, very expensive. That's a zero-sum game. Teamwork, you win. Abundance of mentality will actually get you to multiple universe, right? And then also, the impact of AI, I think AI, basically, to me, I call it a stochastic parrot, right? It will blurt out whatever data that you give it. I don't know if you know what stochastic is, but think about it. It is not going to take away your jobs. I have a contrarian view to AI. Compilers, okay, some of you know compilers, right? Or some of you know ANSYS tools. Before the ANSYS tools, people used to design machines, still designed aircraft. Today, they are designing more sophisticated aircraft. AI is just a tool to help you. It's not going to take away your job, it will make you more advanced. It is not going to be thinking at all. Okay, for that, some of you who've done computer science would probably, I don't know whether they even teach it now. It's called Gödel's uncertainty theorem. It's one of the most profound mathematical theorems ever proved. It shows what is the limitation of thinking, limitation of logic. That brings back to, you know, the complementarity. There are limits to logic, right? However, in the world of AI, a lot of things that were mechanized, sorry, but accountants, lawyers, and all will have a problem. The creators won't. The carpenters, AI can't do carpentry, right? AI can't think about design. It can't think of a new architectural. It can't think of a new software framework. So you have to feed that. Mechanized jobs will be automated, but it will become a more a creator economy, right? We have moved from industrial economy to knowledge economy to a creator economy, right? You know, also, what is learning, right? I'll give you a little bit of you know, my own experience when we were in students, and because we are yearly guys. Again, this is not an invitation to do what I'm telling you, but nevertheless, I'll tell you the story. May 1991, right? The exams are declared in June 1991. The whole of 1990 we had not studied because there was no college because of the Ram Janmabhoomi movement. Right? And we don't know, we are getting into May 19th, May 18th, 19th, we got only 1 month to study. And then, I'm sorry to say this, then Rajiv Gandhi died was unfortunately assassinated on 21st May 1991, I remember the date. Somebody came and told us that we are so happy because, you know, the exam got postponed. Now we got 2 months to study, right? So how did we study? We came up with a principle that everybody reads from the book in a group, and everybody puts out his opinion. However smart you are, I'll have a very different opinion than you have. Again, think about the complementarity. More and more people who add knowledge, information to it, the information gets better. And that's what some of you in information theory, information sciences would have heard about Shannon's information theory. What it means is uncorrelated information. which means information coming from different sources. When they add up, they give more information. That's a perfect way, profound way of learning. But for that, you have to have a little bit of less ego. You should not say, I'm smarter than you. This is what, you'll go there to, this. And then coming back from there, like I said in the start of my talk, there are no facts. When you're reading a newspaper, when you're reading a newspaper, you are reading the editor's bias. Of course, we cannot operate with bias. But there are no facts except simple ones. Every complicated one, there's this movie called Rashomon. I call it the Rashomon effect. Please go watch it. It's a guy called Kurosawa-san who directed a movie called, The Seven Samurai. Probably some of you know it. Some of the older people would know it. That was made into Sholay later on, right? So he has a movie called Rashomon where six people see a murder, and then there's a court thing going on, and everybody recollects the same thing very differently, and all of them is right. So there's no right or wrong, and you don't. There is this thing, right? Seeing is believing, right? You heard seeing is believing somewhere, at least that you'll know, right? But you don't see what you believe. It's the opposite actually. You only see what you believe. That's what the Rashomon effect is. And this is a little book called Little Prince, which is to me a crystallized form of. It is meant for kids, but it's a crystallized form of Advaita in about 40 pages, which talks about why you believe what you see is what you believe. So what you see is invisible to the eye. What is essentially is invisible to eye. In fact, this was my signature, email signature. It's only one with the heart that you truly see. What it means is you only see what you believe. Think about it. And a very interesting story about facts, right? You are told about, two-level logics. Aristotle, two-level logic, at least logic, right? True, false, true, false. So Nagarjuna, not the film actor Nagarjuna, that also you know his son probably. Nagarjuna was a Buddhist philosopher who came up with a concept called Chatuskoti, which means there are no two levels of logic, just 4 levels of logic. In fact, what I talked about Gödel applies to 2 levels of logic, which means if something is true or false, we have only 2 levels of granularity. Then what happens is you get all kinds of contradiction. If I say I'm a liar, what is it? Is it true or is it false? If I'm a liar, I'm saying I'm a liar. It's a paradox, right? Paradoxes are inherent in that system. Yeah? So Nagarjuna's Chatuskoti, because these guys were thinking about reality 2000 years ago. Okay, we are not thought about that, unfortunately, somewhere. He said there are 4 levels of logic. True, something can be true, something can be false, something can be both true and false, something can be neither true or false. The Jains had one step level further. They had 7 levels of logic, where something can be indeterminate also. And all these philosophies are different views of reality. So you are basically breaking down an infinite dimensional world into a 3-dimensional world. When you do that subspace thing that you're taught in AI, you have a serious problem. Okay, I'll be done. Sorry, I got that. I'm boring, so he sent me that. One last story I'll tell you. So many people, you have heard about sine theta, right? What does sine theta mean? What does sinus mean? I just wanted to tell you that there are no facts. You've been told it's a fact. Sine theta sinus in Latin means bosom, chest. It came from a misspelled Arab word called Jia. Jia, you probably know in Persian and in Arab is chest. The Arab mathematicians in the 6th century and the 7th century went from India. In India, there's a concept called half a chord, facts and knowledge. And please fact check me on that. You can go and look up that. Right? As simple as trigonometry, there are issues. Right? Finally, you've seen it in front of the principal's office. I have lived by this all my life. And imagination is more important than knowledge. Because imagination, people who are imaginative, who are slow, will not pass exams. But they can create. Einstein was written off. What we are ending up creating these days is a bunch of analytical morons who only know how to answer a question. Everything has to be framed in a question and answer. Nobody can do original thinking, right? And because of a lack of time, I would suggest I won't talk about the Feynman methods of learning. You probably go there. Next slide, please. What are the attributes needed in this world, right? The biggest one I would say is resilience. What is resilience? You are 17 for 5 and you walk into bat. What do you talk to the other guy? Kapil Dev, 1985, 1983. You don't say, oh, you don't crib. You say, stay there. Let's stay there. The way they talk, I mean, we used to do that, right? Stay there, watch the ball. Let's play out 3 overs. One by one, one by one, one by one. And then suddenly you go off. So you should be the 17 for 5. If you are 17 for 5, and I'm a little older in my cricket, so not as old as I should be, but I'm a little older. If you had an option between Steve Waugh and Sachin Tendulkar, who would you send in to bat if you are the captain? Who would you send in? Sachin Tendulkar? Right? Yeah, you'll make it 17 for 6. Steve Waugh will stay there, take a beating on his head, and stay there for a long time. So nobody even knows about Steve Waugh, unfortunately. By the way, we won from a losing position, right? Who was the architect of the win? Do you know? In fact, when I saw that match that day, I knew that it was Pant. You know what he did? Those guys were going, they were just going on, right? He slowed down the game. So those are the techniques that he used. That are Hatha Kunjara principle. It is not ethical, but it is sometimes you have to win. So you slowed down the game, they lost the momentum. And then you won from a losing position, right? Our biggest thing is curiosity. The other biggest, 2 of those things if you take out, right, is curiosity. You are educated out of it. You don't have any curiosity left. You have no, I've seen engineers after engineers come after me in the last, after us, who have no curiosity on how things work. If you don't have that, you'll probably make 50 lakh salary packages, but you'll never be successful in life. You should learn to play Leela. In the Indian philosophy, Leela is a game of the gods. You play for the sake of playing. Enjoy the play. That's what you say when you go for 17 for 5. You say, let's enjoy, and then figure out what happens when you win or lose, right? You have been taught to focus on outcome always. First rank, 87%, 23%, 50 lakh salary, 25 lakh salary, NVIDIA job, and all of that. We never thought on the process. The process is very important. Focus on the process. How do I get better day by day? And that's where the law of compounding comes in. Everybody knows about compound interest, but nobody knows how to apply it. Compounding works everywhere. Compounding works in knowledge. If you improve 5% every day, by the end of 1 year, you will be really, really good at something. If you spend 15 years on any subject, even if you are dumb, you will be the expert. That's the simple law of compounding. Some of the guys who have made most of the money, let's take Jensen because he is the flavor of the day. He made his billions in the last 3 years. That's the power of compounding. It was growing at one point in time and then suddenly it compounded, right? That's very important. And then a small personal story and a shameless plug in this. If you don't have purpose, right, your life is meaningless. In 1999, I was about 29, 30. I was one of the highest paid guys in India in a company called Philips. But it was simply empty. Life was empty. You know, I had lots of money, 23 lakhs, whatever those equivalent of that those days, or even higher, if I convert it into these days. I used to get upset every day. So I did a small experiment. I did do all these small experiments on myself and other people, my experiments with truth. 1 month, I would go away from office at 2 o'clock and go home, have lunch and sleep. At the end of 1 month, nobody even missed me. Then I said, there's a problem here. But I was, in one of the best jobs. I could have become a very good executive in Philips. I had an offer to go and settle down in Europe. But then I said, this is not fun. And then I used to go down with my friend in the evening on Brigade Road those days, and Brigade Road was still walkable in Bangalore some of those times. It was already bad, but it was walkable. So I saw this thing from Gandhi which says, find purpose and the means will follow, right? In our own journey in Sankhya, we found the purpose, right? Everybody laughed at us. You can't build a semiconductor company in India. All the Stanford guys, all the IIT guys, all the PhDs told us, no, not possible. Not at all possible. You don't have the money, we don't have the expertise, you don't have this. You know who supported us? I have this thing called NH4 Angels. All these villages from Bangalore to Satara, starting from Davangere, put money. You would have thought the suited, booted fellows in Bangalore would have put money in semiconductors. They're talking about it now. It is all the villagers who put money. People put money on you based on trust, not on anything else, right? So once you start have a purpose, once you have a purpose, right, there's a law of attraction. You will attract the right things with you. You will attract the right people for you, right? And then I suggest you strongly, this book influenced my life. This is called Biology of Belief. It was written by an allopathic doctor who turned his clock on allopathy. Give it to you guys, is this: leaders eat last. one of my good friends, when we created Sankhya, one of my good friends and also who is now a CFO and a CEO, Amar Maltera, came on my advisory board, and he saw my cap table. Cap table is how much each of the guys hold equity in the company. When in the first advisory meeting, he said, "Why the hell are you doing this? You don't have anything." And then half an hour later, he said, "No, do it. What you're doing is right." What we effectively did is, in our company, we gave equity and ESOPs to a lot of people. A lot of people become millionaires. I could have kept all the money in my pocket. Right? We didn't do that, right? So if you can follow that principle to more or less without killing yourself, right? I think you'll go far in life. Last one. This is absolutely the last. Sorry, I think I need to. Next one, please. Again, statistics. You do not know how to do it, right? You all think about probability as frequency. A lot of guys here would not hear, but you're all rank holders, you wouldn't do that. You'd go on a high-speed bike with a girlfriend without an helmet and do a wheelie. What is that? You are actually showing off your energy. When your frontal lobe when you're 19, 20, 21 is high, right? You want to show off your energy. You will get away 99.999% of the time. At one time that you make a mistake, you're dead. So is your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whichever way it is now, right? People confuse probability with payoffs. However, if you ask you, a lot of you guys in Palo Alto Networks, come and join Sankhya, I'll give you 15,000 rupees a month. You will say, no, it's too risky. But in Sankhya or equivalent like that, if you just win once, the payoff, even if the probability of success is low, but the payoffs are high, you should take that bet. That's what I told you about gambling. Expected value thinking is very important. Expected value is the payoff times the frequency, not just the frequency. If that is higher than the other one, you take the bet. The other ones, I'll keep it. Embrace uncertainty. The world is uncertain. To me, that is nirvana, right? That is nirvana. And then finally, when I was in 8th standard, this is a poem in Kannada from Basveshwar that we had. I never understood what that meant. Stavara kaliyuntu jangamu kaliyulla. Means stagnation is death, movement is life. There's this concept, that's why there's this Jangam philosophy in North Karnataka, and generally the concept of Avduta in Indian philosophy, where you wander. Your life is always compartmentalized. You go out of education, you go here, go there. I don't know if you've seen the movie called Motorcycle Diaries. Well, I don't subscribe to that philosophy of communism, but the making of Che Guevara. He took a 1-year bike ride after his college. He was a medical student from a very rich family. Took a bike, went all over Argentina, and then realized the poverty, and then became a leftist communist guy, which is a wrong thing, but anyway, that did it. So when you wander, right, and when you give up your ego, there's a lot of things that are happening. The next one, if anyone knows this Mukda or Antara, I kept forgetting from the Hindi song, I will double your salary and I'll hire you now as my personal assistant. Like some other guy, this Zomato fellow said that, right? Nobody knows this. Anyone knows this? No, sir, you're too old, sir, for that. No, anybody below 45, if he knows this, he is really, hats off to him. It's basically from a 1972 movie called Parichay, written by Gulzar. Main muda to saath saath Ram mud gayi. What it says is, I didn't travel the road less traveled. I created the road less traveled. That's your Advaita philosophy, kind in one. Can you believe it? It was a Hindi lyricist in a Bollywood movie in 1972 who said that, right? And for the English folks, that's the Frost one. And then finally, I'll skip the Krishnamurti method, which is also a repetition of what is. Jiddu Krishnamurti was a great modern philosopher, But those 3 points are very important, right? Ask unanswerable questions. All the while you have been taught so far to answer questions. You have to start asking questions now, unanswerable questions. Observe without judgment, which is very difficult. All of us are judgmental, right? That's, I think I have a problem with that. And value not knowing. I don't know. That is the mindset of a seeker, not a believer. A believer says it's already done, I'm going to do that. The whole part of the Indian philosophy always has been to seek, not to believe. Yeah. Last one. Anybody know Nirvana Shatakam? Very few. This is not taught. It's taught in Scottish schools apparently these days. One of the most profound philosophy poems ever written, and it's not taught to us. Our own philosophy. It says, I won't read that Sanskrit thing. It says the English translation is, I am free if I'm freed up from the desire to be free. The problem is that, right? If I'm freed up from the desire to be free. He said freedom from freedom itself. That's the goal. that you try to achieve. We have not achieved it. Hopefully you will achieve it. And thank you. And the last one is a great philosopher which I put on top of my thing, which I remind myself every day when I walk in. You know this guy? Said, "Jo dar gaya, samjho mar gaya." With that, you have in front of you a large life ahead. Have fun, enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a wonderful and inspiring and insightful address.
Today's event is special in many ways, and it's made even more memorable by the presence of our esteemed chief guest, Professor T.G. Sitaram, Honorable Chairman, AICT, New Delhi. I now call upon Ms. Sanjana Patil, student of MBA Department, to introduce Professor T.G. Sitaram.
It is my pleasure to introduce our today's honorable chief guest, Professor T.G. Sitaram, the chairman of AICTE since December 2022 and a senior professor at the Indian Institute of Science. A leader in engineering education and research, he has served as director of IIT Guwahati, where he established new multidisciplinary centers, securing IITG's high rankings in QS World Rankings. He earned his BE from the University of Mysore, a master's from IISc, and a PhD from the University of Waterloo, Canada. His expertise in geotechnical and earthquake engineering has led to over 500 publications, 20 books, 5 patents, and various prestigious awards, including the Sir M. Vishveshwaraya Senior Scientist Award in 2023. Dr. Sitaram's contributions span notable projects such as the Ram Temple Foundation in Ayodhya and the Chenab Railway Bridge. He has mentored many students, completed over 120 consulting projects, and co-founded 2 startups. His global impact is reflected in roles as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, American Society of Civil Engineers, and other esteemed institutions. He is editor-in-chief of major journals and a dedicated advocate for engineering innovation. His career highlights a commitment to advancing technical education, fostering research, and shaping India's scientific landscape on an international scale. It is indeed an honor to have you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Sanjana. I request President and Chairman KLS to felicitate Professor T.G. Sitaram. I request the other dignitaries to join the felicitation. Thank you, dignitaries, for doing the honors. It's indeed a privilege to have such a distinguished personality amongst us. It's an honor to invite Professor T.G. Sitaram to deliver the graduation day address.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಮೊದಲು ಶ್ರೀ ಅನಂತ್ ಮಂಡಗಿ, ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಲಾ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಬೆಳಗಾವಿ, ಪ್ರದೀಪ್ ಸಾವ್ಕರ್, ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ KLS ಬೆಳಗಾವಿ, ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ MS ಪಾಟೀಲ್, engineer Parag Naik, alumnus of KLS GIT, and all the governing body members and distinguished guests on the dais, off the dais, academic council members, board of studies members, and more importantly, the staff and faculty of the GIT, and much more important, it is today's graduating students of the 8th graduation of the GIT, and all the gold medals, rank holders. Let me congratulate each one of you. And all the media persons present here, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to be here as Chairman, All India Council for Technical Education. And I'm coming to this town for third time. I was in BTU Convocation last year. And then recently I was at KLE. And this is the third visit as Chairman AICT to this city, Belagavi. I'm happy to be here, and let me congratulate each one of the graduating students. I understand the activities will start from tomorrow onwards. I think we'll give each one of them a degree certificate, which is very important, because from the student point of view, it's very important that every one of them receives the degree in person. Okay, that would really, because it's a great memory for them. Coming to the parents, who have assembled here, and for the young people, young students may not realize what their contribution is in all the creating engineers of India. See, the Indian, parents always wanted their children either to be an engineer or a doctor. That is why we have created today large number of engineering graduates and who are serving the whole world. To be precise, we have created close to about 30 million engineers since 80s. So yesterday there was a team visiting from UAE, and also last week there was a team visiting from France. They were asking, what is the success of Indian engineers? Why they are there everywhere? Okay, so it was a tough question for me. I said, see, we actually in Karnataka experimented in 80s, starting large number of engineering colleges. One of them was KLS GIT as well. Okay. See, this is the first state started private engineering colleges in 78 from onwards. Till that time, there were very few engineering colleges for the young people, I'm telling you. So when I had started engineering in 78, I had very few choices for me. I joined government BDT College of Engineering. There was only government college in the state of Karnataka at that time. And the other one was the UVC, University Visheshwaraya College of Engineering, which was affiliated to the university. So today we have close to about 3,500 engineering colleges, 3,500 diploma institutions in the country. AICTE is a regulator. What do you mean by regulator is, as I told you, in 80s when large number of colleges mushroomed starting from Karnataka and then went on to other states, southern Indian states. Tamil Nadu followed us, and then Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh. That time there was only one Andhra Pradesh, no Telangana. And all of these, when they started large number of colleges, then Government of India said there must be a regulator regulating how the engineering education is done. Whether it is the curriculum, whether it is teachers training, whether it is how many seats to be allocated, and what should be done. But today, if you look back, that mistake of what we have created, engineering, large number of created, has become a boon. Because today we have engineers omnipresent in all countries from India. In all top tech companies are all led by Indian engineers. And this is a big, big success for a country like India. And we haven't done just that in engineering, we have done that very well in all fields also. Look at space technologies today. Okay, and look at defense technology. We are, from the last 10-15 years, from a country which was an importing country in the defense. Today we are an exporting country. Coming to the atomic energy, I was there last month in HBNI, which is Homi Bhabha National Institute, on the Foundation Day. I'm telling you, the kind of innovations and kind of activities, research happened in those institutions is mind-boggling. Today, a lot of, I'm not talking about creating an atomic bomb and being in the wars. Okay, that is one part of it, you know. The second part was, you know, using these technologies for the well-being of the mankind. That is what the message is for all of you. You are graduating from an engineering college. You need to be first a humane being, humane. So take the positive things, you know, you can all achieve. So one other thing is, you know, this is a very difficult world. Dear graduates, you are today graduating, I know, but your education doesn't end here. This is a world which is very, very complex. The continuous learning is very critical. So our National Education Policy 2020, you might have heard, why it has become very popular is a lot of flexibility we wanted to give it to the students. It's all student-centric. It is student-centric that you can choose what courses you want. It should be multidisciplinary. You should not be just an engineer. You should be an artist, a scientist, as well as a human being. So technology in particular, in our nation as well as in the world, is revolutionizing every aspect of our life. I can say these emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, generative AI, robotics, augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain, okay, and cyber security, whatever you name it, all of these are changing the way we think, we work, and the future of work will be completely different. Let's little bit delve into the artificial intelligence. This is disrupting the world. And I'll give you a small example. So when I joined All India Council for Technical Education from serving my entire career at Indian Institute of Science and then 4 years at IIT, and at the same time, you know, ChatGPT was released also. So how many of you use the ChatGPT here? Can you raise your hands? Oh, only students are doing that. So I think everybody should use it now. I think all of you. Why I'm saying this is, see, we have been told that some of the creative things cannot be done by machines. Listen, I sat on one evening, I was asking ChatGPT a question, write a poem about AICTE, what it does. Very succinctly, I wanted to read 4 lines and 4 stanzas of a poem. Believe me, you can go and try this, or you can try just after going out of this room, you can download ChatGPT on your smartphone and try this. Write a poem about AICTE or even Gogte Institute of Technology. Beautiful poem was there in front of me covering the entire activities of All India Council for Technical Education. Not just at that time, I had not even understood what AICTE was doing because my career was as a research and a professor. Why I am trying to tell you this story? That poem, I wanted to be smarter than the machine. I asked this machine, write this poem in Kannada. A beautiful Kannada poem. I come from a small village called Talaku, which is known for poets in our country. Tarasu, Tasu, Shamara, Avtasu, T.S. Venkannaya, the Diggajas of Kannada are from there. Okay? It's not far, very, very far from here. It's maybe about 400 kilometers? 300 kilometers from here. So this machine was able to write a poem. Even if I have hired a poet at AICTE, he would have taken 6 months, believe me. This happened in 20 seconds. 20 seconds. So I took a delegation, another story, took a delegation to Taiwan because I'm also chairman of implementation committee of the capacity building of semiconductors in India. Okay? So you must be knowing that now 400 and odd colleges have started offering BTech in VLSI program in engineering colleges. Okay? So that's what we have created. So when I took this delegation, students, just like, you know, you're all participants of Smart India Hackathon, I heard. So they also put up a project, chairman of AICTE has come. And when one project caught my attention. That was one student had developed a robot playing a keyboard. Okay? But he used generative AI to compose the music. So believe me, in 5 minutes, he showed me 3 compositions, which are very unique, no plagiarism. He didn't play the music composed by the musician. Okay? So this is the power of AI. That means I don't call it as artificial anymore. I call it as augmented intelligence. That means you take the intelligence available, knowledge available, and you augment that. And that is what you have to do. Your knowledge may be very small. Use this technology which you can augment yourself. Otherwise, you will be nowhere. You need to embrace these technologies, adopt these technologies. So AICT has taken a big step in training large number of engineering and management students everywhere. So our AI mission is to reach out not just the students and to even our homes. So this is the power of AI, and AI is going to continuously evolve. And that is why, and wherein semiconductor also will play a major role. Yeah, semiconductor is going to be a pervasive again everywhere. So with this power of technology disrupting our lives, what you should do as a graduating student. Believe me, I will not take more than 3-4 minutes from now. I'll close it earlier. So AI is a marvel of human ingenuity. It is important to understand its limitations as well. It is not just look at positive things of it. AI can simulate intelligence, analyze massive data sets, and make predictions with remarkable accuracy. But it lacks the essence of humanity. That's where you need to be on top of it. Friends, as you enter the workforce, begin utilizing these tools. Exercise caution. Use AI to augment human efforts, not to replace them. And definitely it cannot be replaced as well. Having strong conviction on that, because human beings are always will be on top of it, because we have created them. So you don't need to have a fear. The second point I would like to tell you, as you are getting out of this, believe in yourself. I will tell you, I have taught at 7 different countries full courses, like any of the professors, 7 different countries. Let me assure you, all our students from India are very smartest and they are the best, but they don't believe in themselves. They don't have confidence. So this confidence has to be built into our younger generation, and that's why we are trying to do that, so that you have to also take the risk of fear of failure should go. I think that's where Parag Naik emphasized that, see, you should not, many times you will fail, but always you should believe in that, every failure is a stepping stone for your success. So don't have any fear of failure and take risks in your life. That's very important. So you should actually think about today what we are emphasizing at AICT is innovation, startups, and entrepreneurship. We wanted our kids to take more risks. So how this landscape has changed, ladies and gentlemen. So today we have 170,000 startups in India. So in 2014-15, we could count in 300, 400 numbers. So this number is jumped because as a society, as Indians, we are by birth actually are ready to take risk, and we believe, okay, there is a destiny for you, strongly, okay? So that's where the very important step is read more about Indian philosophers. Indian knowledge system is very, 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 very strong and is very important for you to be successful in your life. So the message is that you have to take risk in your life and try to do the best. So as you leave the gates of this institution, remember that your role extends beyond personal success. You are stepping into a society that looks into us as your future leaders, innovators, and change makers. Take risks, create your own startup. That is where we conduct Smart India Hackathon. This time I'm very happy to tell you, we have touched 500,000 students through SIH 2024, and December 11th, Honorable Prime Minister is going to interact with every student who is going to be the participation in SIH 2024 digitally. And he has done that last 7 years consecutively. Never missed that particular event, Smart India Hackathon. And this has created a big change in our engineering colleges, which we don't believe in ourselves many times. We only talk about ghost faculty, teachers are not there, classes are not happening. And if all that happens, how come 2,000 companies have come here and created their global capability center, hiring many of you are all from second and third grade engineering colleges, whether it is space technologies, whether it is defense technologies, whether it is atomic energy institutions in our country, hired only second and third grade engineering college students, not IITians. See, I was a director of an IIT, I'm telling you. I was a professor of Indian Institute of Science. Those have created a different niche for themselves differently, but what in the professional engineering courses, what we started in 80s have turned out to be a boon for the whole world. So we have produced engineers for the world. So final word for you on this day, because it's already touching 1:15. So never stop learning. Continuous learning, that's what we emphasize. The world is constantly changing and staying updated with the latest advancement is not the choice, but necessarily it is a compulsion. Adopt a growth mindset and embrace lifelong learning. And today, technology has provided that opportunity to you. AICT's NEET program or AICT's internship portal or career portal is there for you to utilize if you have not found a placement. Don't be disappointed. We have put together 7 lakh employers across the world on our career portal, which will provide you jobs. It is not just your placement center in your college. Okay? These are all happened in the last 2 years. We may not have missed that information. So use that information, what AICT has created. AICT is supporting you to start your own startups today. So create your own startup. Come with your idea, which you did in your Smart India Hackathon. We will connect you to the innovators, thinkers. Okay? Not only handhold you, we will allow you to even protect your IP through permitting you to patent these or copyright these ideas. So innovate with purpose. Whenever you want to innovate, you identify a problem which is socially relevant, which is around your town, your villages, where you come from. Don't forget your roots, ladies and gentlemen. Let your creativity and problem-solving skills, which you are becoming an engineer, to address the pressing challenges of our times, from climate change to social inequalities. India has done very well in all these advanced technology, but we have to still do, including energy, we have done exceedingly well. But we have to do something regarding water. Mission water is very critical. Unless we stop our women carrying water on their heads in our villages, we will not be called as developed nation, ladies and gentlemen. So you please innovate with a purpose. Lead with integrity. In this world, that's another message I would like to bring it to you. Success is not just about achieving goals and making money, but about staying true to your values. And that's where Indian value system is the prime focus. In the last 100, 200 years, we have lost that. That is what we need to bring in. We should inculcate those values to our young people, ladies and gentlemen. Let ethics and empathy guide your decisions. Try to give something every day. Learn, make a practice. I think that will take you to higher heights and higher satisfaction. And meditate every day, 10 minutes. All your tantrums will go away. That's the power of India's culture and value system. Dear graduates, today is a day of celebration. Look at, even though you are very small number today, anyway, you will start coming later on. Look at the entire leadership of GITS. They're all here, living their, they're all lawyers. They left their jobs and come here. Give them a big applause today. Celebrate your achievements with whom? With your parents. Very, very important. At this age, we will never realize what their contribution. They put entire saving. That's the beauty of Indian value system. They save only for their future children. They'll never enjoy themselves. At the end, when they become 65, when there is nobody to take care of them, they will suffer. So you have to big responsibility, take care of them as well. Reflect on the journey that brought you here. How did you come here? That's very important. And not only just to engineering college at GIT, to this world as well. Express gratitude to those who supported you all along the way. Friends, the next 25 years is India's time. Vikasit Bharat at 2047, which Honorable Prime Minister dreams, is no more a dream, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the growth sector, what we have done, all these technologies. It is not just, you should look at what public digital infrastructure, what we have created. You should listen to Nandan Nilekani's one talk on public digital infrastructure, what we have created. Whole world is mesmerized. So that means you can believe that you can create yourself many things. So believe in yourself, do positive things. So even though we have lost about 400, 500 years. In 16th century, India was the highest GDP. Okay, you might be hearing that we are now going to become the third largest GDP country in the world. Okay, soon, in a couple of years. But 17th century belonged to Dutch because they started sailing. That means you need to move out. Don't have the fear. So they wanted to conquer the oceans. 18th century belonged to the British. The entire world, more than 100 countries they ruled. Look at today the status. An Indian has to become the prime minister of that nation. Okay? So these are all cycles. So our cycle will be there in 21st century, ladies and gentlemen. It can only be possible if all young people take a resolution that not only just creation of wealth, creation of values, creation of the pride in being an Indian. With these few words, I congratulate each one of you on this day for receiving gold medals, ranks, but that's not it. You need to continuously learn. Skilling and upskilling, reskilling is going to be very key. So don't be happy that you're graduating today. Go back, look at what skill courses you need to learn. Maybe AI, maybe generative AI, maybe robotics, maybe AR, VR. Because all these are going to transform every core engineering. So you should be proud of a core engineering because that skills are very important along with these skills. Thank you very much. Namaskar, Jai Hind, all the very best to you.
Thank you, sir. Your insights and guidance will surely leave a lasting impact on all of us here today.
May I now request Shri Pradeep Saukar, Chairman, Karnataka Law Society, to address the gathering.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, esteemed faculty, proud parents, and most importantly, the brilliant minds of class of 2024. Today, we celebrate not just the culmination of your academic journey, but the dawn of a new era of innovation and engineering excellence. You have spent countless hours poring over textbooks in classrooms, conducting experiments in labs, and honing your problem-solving skills. Your dedication and perseverance have brought you to this momentous occasion. As you step out of these halls, as many before you, you carry with you the tools to shape the future. Your degrees are more than just qualifications. They are a testament to your intellectual prowess, your technical expertise, and your ability to think critically. You are the architects of progress, the pioneers of technology, and the solvers of complex problems. The field of engineering and management studies have always been at the forefront of human advancement. From the pyramids of ancient Egypt to the skyscrapers that dot our modern skylines,
engineers and management graduates have played a crucial role in shaping the world we live in. Today, as we face global challenges such as climate change, energy crisis, and healthcare disparities, you are more vital than ever. Your education has equipped you with skills to address these challenges, create a better future. You can develop sustainable energy solutions, design innovative equipments, and engineer resilient infrastructure. Your potential is limitless. But remember, your journey is far from over. The world of engineering is ever evolving. To stay ahead, you must cultivate a lifelong love of learning. Embrace continuous improvement, seek new knowledge, and stay curious. Attend conferences, workshops, and webinars. Join professional organizations, network with other engineers. Stay up to date on the latest trends and technologies. By investing in your own professional development, you will ensure that you remain competitive and relevant in the job market. You have the power to make a significant impact on the world, but you can't do it alone. Success in the field of engineering and management studies often require teamwork, collaboration, and effective communication. Learn to work effectively with people from diverse backgrounds and cultures. Be open to new ideas and perspectives. By fostering strong relationships, you can create a more productive and innovative work environment. You have a responsibility to use your skills for the betterment of society. This means considering the ethical implications of your work. Always strive to design and develop products and systems that are safe, reliable, and environmentally friendly. And I'm certain that each one of you will exceed our expectations effortlessly. Lastly, as you embark on this new chapter, I urge you to dream big, work hard, and never give up. The future is yours to shape. Once again, many congratulations to class of 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I request Shri Anant Mandgi, President Karnataka Law Society, to deliver the presidential remarks.
Dear students, parents, teacher, staff, all those who are involved behind this successful program, let me congratulate all of you. Many words were said today which made me think quite a lot, practically as to what things are. For instance, you will never know, I'm just talking practicality, I'm not going to use words which I may not understand because I'm a lawyer, my friends are lawyers. You are studying in an engineering college started by lawyers, Karnataka Law Society. So if lawyers put together and few of our other friends like industrialists and all, we could all get together and start an engineering college, anything can happen in life. Let me tell you the classic example which comes to my mind when I see all youngsters sitting like this. You know, which is the biggest restaurant today in Bangalore? Rameshwaram Cafe. You know who runs it? A chartered accountant. Can you imagine a chartered accountant running a cafe like Rameshwaram Cafe where that lady is earning crores of rupees? So if I tell you, you are going to travel, you do not know where your destination is. See, life is like traveling in a train without a destination. You do not know where it's going to take. I have certain friends who have done pharmacy, but they're running the top industries in Pina in Bangalore, engineering industries. You can never know where life will take you and never ever be disappointed. And only one word I will tell you, as a youngster I used to read a lot of Western books and Western comics. Luck favors the bold. If you sit back in your house and say, I'm unlucky, you are unlucky. Just go ahead in life, be bold, be brave, take the right decision, which your mind and heart should be convinced with what you do. And that's what I do as a lawyer. Also, I do something else. If I can't convince a judge when I'm arguing, I'll confuse him. That is a sort of a tactic, you know, like what you can do. See, I really thank the Honorable Chief Guest today, Professor T.G. Sitaraman, because the chairman of AICT coming to our college shows how much of respect he has for our institution. It is not a joke for him to come. He can't keep attending all the institutions' graduation days. You students must be very lucky to realize he's taken a morning flight along with some of my colleagues from Bangalore. What time he would have woken up in the morning? He has traveled, come to the airport, got down in Jubilee, on the way had breakfast in one restaurant along with one of my colleagues, and come here just to be with you and address you. That is his dedication. Thank you very much, sir. And also, I thank Mr. Parag Nayak, our alumni, and another alumni, Nitin B. Landge, who is sitting here. He's also another alumni who's taken interest to come and sit here. He's an industrialist here. He was one of you, but today he's sitting on that side with the coat, and he's come up in life on his own. One lesson all of you must learn from today's chief guest. His positive character is he has always got a smile on his face. See that? Again, he's smiling. That is the lesson in life you must learn. Come what may, a smile is the most important thing in life. Always keep smiling. It's all right. Sometimes when we are arguing, if a judge asks you a complicated question as a lawyer, I may not be able to answer. I may just smile. Then he will think, oh, am I a fool to have asked this question? Or he doesn't know the realize. You don't have to speak words, it's actions. And like what the Honorable Chief Guest spoke today, yesterday, I'm talking about your parents now, okay? Now, when we were young, like the Chief Guest said, people always wanted to become lawyers and, doctors and engineers. But when I was a youngster in school, people would ask me, Nana, I want to become a lawyer. That was the way how things were as far as lawyers were concerned at one point of time. Like what he spoke about parents. Yesterday I was having dinner with a few of my colleagues which I would not like to name. My brother is also in the US. One of my very close friends sitting here. His brothers are also in the US. Sacrifice of the parents which we were discussing. There are so many engineers in India, more than 2 lakh of engineers or so pass out every year, sir. I do not know, or 20 lakhs, I do not know. Of that, a few, 2,000 or... 15 lakhs. Sir, how many of them pass out from artificial intelligence, sir? 2,000. Not many. In 15 lakhs. Only 3 lakhs means are students who pass out doing... No, whatever it is, sir. But is it really an artificial intelligence, sir? Sir, you were saying, do you use ChatGPT? I have my mobile phone, sir. I use ChatGPT. When I ask a question, I don't think it's artificial intelligence, it's real intelligence. He ask me, are you a lawyer? I'll say, yes. Then next question is, pay me my fees. Sir, so you can't call it as artificial intelligence, especially in the field of law if you ask questions. But again, coming back to the topic of parents, let me tell you people from my personal experience, those who take care of their parents are the ones whom God will bless. You'll come up in life only if you take care of your parents. Let me tell you why. I have said my colleagues and we were talking, he's got brothers, I got a brother. At the age of 75, his brothers and their wives are still working in America, not in India. Why? Entire savings which the Indian parents, sir, Indians I'm talking, you are talking of Indians. It's not American parents. Indian parents have earned throughout that the Indian culture, what you are talking of, Indian value system is the expression and word you use. Whatever these parents have earned for 35 to 40 years in America, every single dollar they have spent on the child to either do engineering or doctorate or even a lawyer. My brother has spent a lot of money for lawyer. And when the children go away from the house, it's called as a nest, I don't know. It is the expression uses, the house is empty nest. This is a new expression that's come out. We were in the US and everyone was saying, my house is an empty nest. Why? Because my young ones have flown away. With what? With all my savings. And I am left with nothing. And at the age of 75, me and my wife have to earn till today. The small chicks which went away flying is fine. That is what the father wanted. He sacrificed, mother wanted. But will those chicks come back to take care of you? They'll meet a girl somewhere, get married somewhere, they go back. What are you going to do? Indian value system does not end with parents alone. It's not only father and mother's duty to take care of the children. What about the children's duty to take care of the parents? Whatever you do in life, don't ditch your parents. Of course, like it was told, a son is a son till he gets a wife, but a daughter is for life, they say. But that need not have to be true. So my request to you, today you are all graduating, fine, you are with your parents, you are not married, you are not done anything much more, you may come up in life, you do not know where you may land, what you may become. Like for instance, when we had to invest, see again I'm telling you, all my colleagues, most of us are lawyers. We don't know head or tail of what is engineering, though we are heading the engineering. We do have engineering like Mr. Raj and engineers or Vinayak Lokur or industrialists like Mr. Bandare and all of them. But still major portion, majority of us are all lawyers. Now it came to a thing, should we invest in NVIDIA? NVIDIA? What is NVIDIA? I don't know what is NVIDIA. How many crores? 5 crores, 6 crores. My God, what is this? And if you see, I went through the Google and learned about Mr. Huang, who started a company in 1993. So it's a very old company, like you were saying, Mr. Parag. It is not a new company at all. It's an ancient company. Nobody had heard. Today he's become the richest company in the world. And as I read the Google, I learned that he was working as a waiter. And he was staying in a dormitory, and his roommate was an illiterate. His uncle had put him in a dormitory thinking it is something religious institution. He never knew it is not so. And he taught his roommate how to read and write, and that gentleman in turn taught him how to do push-ups in life. That's what he said. And if Mr. Huang, who started his company in 1993, in 2024 is the world's largest, means a CEO of a largest company, that means life has no barriers for you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't ever get disheartened in life if you are not successful when you're starting your life. Don't compare yourself to your colleague who's earning 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs. Don't bother about all that. You'll never know, because everyone is going to make it in life one day or the other. And when it strikes, you'll be shocked. Oh my God, do I deserve this kind of money? So never get disheartened. Never blame others. Never blame your parents. See, that one's parent, father is so rich, mother is so rich, he sent him to England, sent him to... Don't bother about all that. A day is there for each one of you. And to say that, if I have to tell you, from what I said, luck favors the brave. Only one instance I will say, because it's already 1:40, but this I would love to say, and I keep saying and I keep repeating, is I had a friend by name Mr. Narsimhan. Sir, he was nearly 60 years old. He was a failure in life, and his family had kicked him out in Chennai. Adyar, that's a place, I don't know much, but Adyar had gone to meet him. 60 years, he was an utter failure. And his wife and children just threw him out of the house. He was staying in a small room. As a student, I had gone to meet him, but he was my friend, though he was 60 years old. But he had one particular liking. He was very much interested in, during those days, you guys may not even have heard about it, there used to be a speedometer called as Yankee, Y-E-N-K-A-Y, for all motorbikes, the Bullet, all used to be loaded with Yankee, Y-E-N-K-A-Y speedometers. So all spoiled speedometers he would collect, and he kept on fiddling with it, and I never understood what he was doing. He had a small garage. One day there was an exhibition in Chennai. A lot of Germans and all had come. He was displaying certain things. So the Germans got interested in what this chap is doing. Precision instrument is what he had developed at the age of 65. They called him to Germany. They gave him an order. At the age of 72, 73, he became a millionaire. So he started his life at the age of 65, never too late. And when he made millions, his wife came back, sons came back, everybody came back. So this is one example I keep telling everyone, because this is what I have seen with my own eyes. Even as lawyers, we have so many difficulties we have. So if we think on the negative, if I get a client, he'll ask you, can you win my case? I may feel he may not have a case, but who am I? I am not the judge. Luck favors the bold. Go ahead, fight. You may win the case for him. Your own opinion is different. So what I'm trying, be bold, have courage in your own self. Be bold, be brave. Satyameva jayate, be honest. Those who are not honest will make money for the day, but in the end, they will never ever come up in life. So my advice to you youngsters is, be bold, be brave, be honest, and have always one thing in your house or wherever you sit, Satyameva jayate. Be honest. You'll definitely come up. Thank you and wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir, for those encouraging words.
May I request the President of Graduation Day Ceremony to declare the Graduation Day dissolved.
I declare this Graduation Day dissolved. Thank you very much.
As we come to the end of this beautiful ceremony, let us remember that today is not just about celebrating achievements, it's about embracing new beginnings. Dear graduates, the future is yours to create and the world awaits your brilliance. Go ahead and make us proud. On behalf of the institution, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to everyone for your presence and support. Thank you. I request everyone to rise for National Anthem.
Jana Mana Adhinayaka Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchala Jaladhi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Request everyone to remain standing as the dignitaries leave the auditorium. are informed to return the stools back to the exam office. Graduates and parents, you are all invited for lunch, which is arranged in front of the MEC building.